Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Lonnie, and today we are going to do a pick a card reading on how you are up leveling. We have three piles to choose from today, starting with the first card being the star card from the Dungeons and Dragons tarot, and this amethyst crystal. That's pile one, and then pile two is the hierophant from the same deck, and this jade, speckled jade crystal. And then pile three actually came out with two tarot cards. So we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Swords and the carnelian crystal. Okay, and that's pile three. So we're gonna get right into it. I'll see you at your pile. Angels, ancestors, and spirit guides, please help me to channel a clear message for pile number one. Please help me to connect with the energy of the star card and this amethyst crystal. Okay. Okay, so this Kanaga water may be relevant for some of you. It's kind of like the same idea as like a Florida water type situation. But yeah, let's start. I actually did channel some messages when I pre-shuffled these. So I'll just like hold this card up while I go over that. Okay, I don't necessarily like this lighting because the sun is behind us. The sun is behind us right now, and it's not exactly where I want it to be, but we're gonna make it work. All right, so if you chose the star card, I channeled your up leveling involving like building a community, maybe even if you're like an influencer, having greater reach, like you're kind of broadening here. Because I'm noticing like the bow and arrow, so it's kind of like shooting arrows, shooting out information. You could even be like teaching people things here with the star energy. There's definitely like a leadership vibe because the star is an Aquarius energy, and Aquarius Leo axis is all about like leadership and the greater community. So I feel like you're establishing yourself as a leader in a community here. I feel like you're advancing despite some kind of emotional setback, because if you see on this card, she has a container of water that she's pouring out here. So it's kind of like disregard for emotions, and also the star is air sign energy. So it's focusing more on like your mental energy is really kind of what is propelling you forward here. Especially like the crown chakra, if you see that there's like a star here above her head. So your psychic abilities here are either like aiding you in your advancement or up leveling, or that's related to your advancement up leveling here. Like you could be expanding on your psychic gifts, your third eye could be opening, things like that. And I also feel like you're reaping the reward of like some of your humanitarian acts. So if you're a person who like kind of gives back to the community a lot, you do a lot of charity, you're gonna start to see a lot of that come back to you during this time period. So boom, that's that. And then I have some pre-shuffled oracle here. So yeah, boom, what did I just say? Service. Dogs could be significant here in some kind of way. And then we also have turtle and coriander, satisfaction, and the snail and huckleberry, trust in the invisible. So boom, I just heard a train. This is number 14, which comes to number 5. I feel like you are being the change that you want to see in the world. I'm gonna hold this crystal. You're being the change that you want to see in the world with trust in the invisible and the service energy and the star humanitarian energy. I feel like I was saying before, like the good karmas that you're reaping at this time are a result of the investment of effort that you've already been putting in. Like I feel like you're a person who kind of like part of the way that you live your life in your life philosophy is in service to other people. Like, you may even be the kind of person who gets a lot of validation out of like how much good you can do for other people, how much happiness you can bring into other people's lives. Like, I'm getting like a loyalty energy here with this dog and the fact that Aquarius is like fixed energy. Like, you're a solid person, you're a solid presence in anybody's life, any organization's life, and you bring a lot of value here with satisfaction. And the turtle, I feel like it's kind of the mindset. Yeah, and it's a turtle and a snail. Like, these are very slow moving energies here. So whatever up leveling is happening here is something that you've been working towards like a dog for a long time. Like, you may have been taking like baby steps, taking gradual movements towards something. But like I was saying before, I feel like your reach is expanding here with like the world here and the star, with being 11th house energy, talking about like society energy. You may be here on this earth, like part of your purpose with the star energy could be in service to humanity and the like raising of humanity's vibration with satisfaction here. And with trusting the invisible, I feel like you're walking a path that you can't necessarily see. Like I was saying before, you're being guided by your crown chakra to make movements in the moment with these slow moving energy. Like, you're really just putting your foot, one foot in front of the other, one at a time. Like, I don't even think you can see the grander scheme of all the service that you're doing right now. But like with this 4 and 1, like, you're manifesting stability in your own life because you are a stable person and you produce a stable energy. Like, you're gonna get what you've been putting out, basically, is what I'm wanting to say. Is there anything else? Okay, not right now. So I'm gonna start pulling from the tarot. I'm gonna just start with 4 cards for now. I'm gonna use the tarot of I almost said operations, but it's oppositions. So I wonder what that's about. Tarot of oppositions. This is a new deck for me, so I may reference the guidebook if I feel the need to. But hold on a second, because I want to make more space. I'm gonna move these piles to the side now. So I'm gonna move pile 1 up a little bit. I recognize that you guys can't see these cards, but I'm doing my best. I just moved, and I still have yet to find the ideal setup for everything. And that could be part of your energy too, because I was just saying, like, in the beginning, the channel message I got for the star card was advancement despite emotional setback. And then here with the turtle, we have like satisfaction and trust in the invisible. So there's something about like your current circumstances that may not be ideal. And there's something about you operating out of faith with the star card, despite all of that, that brings you some level of up leveling. So part of how you're being tested right now is just like your resolve and patience with the snail and turtle energies. Okay, so how is pile 1 up leveling? Can you give me some more context for that, please? How is pile 1 up leveling? Okay, so that probably wasn't the best place to put it. I'll put it over here. We have the 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. 8 of Pentacles is in reverse, by the way. 6 of Cups, Justice, and the Knight of Pentacles, with the 8 of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So with these 2 8s in reverse, what I'm getting is that like a cycle has ended in your life. And that's part of like the up leveling, is that you've reached the conclusion of one way of being here in the material world. Since it's pentacles and wands, this is like how you're showing up. You've been putting consistent and hard work towards something here, but there's something about it being like wasted in a sense. Like there's a feeling that it didn't fully come into fruition the way that you wanted to, despite the fact that you put a lot of work into it. Like I'm not getting that like your workmanship was shoddy here. It just kind of feels like you weren't meant to completely see fulfillment in a certain sense here. Like if there was a project that you're working toward or a goal that you were trying to manifest, I feel like you're being redirected from that and towards something else. With the Six of Cups here, it feels like something that speaks more to like your inner child, or that brings you more peace and contentment. It may also like offer you a mentor role with this star and service card here. And I don't know if you can see, but on this card there's a man here and a child. So there's like someone here who has more information. He's teaching this child how to fish. And there's 3 cups, so there's emotional fulfillment and some kind of relationship here. I feel like part of your soul mission is to be of service to people, to teach people, to guide people with this like dog, service dog energy. Like guiding the blind even here is a thing. Like you're meant to be a light in the dark here in some kind of way. Maybe teach people how to endure energies of lack in some kind of way. And if you were working hard towards something in the past that wasn't in alignment with this, that's the reason why you're being redirected from it. Or if you continue to move forward with it, you're going to experience a lot of struggles and setbacks and difficulty. Because with Justice here, your guides are really wanting to keep you in balance. And I feel like the way that it shows up is because if you continue to invest your energy in things that don't fulfill you on a mental, emotional level, you're gonna start to like tilt off balance. Like you're not gonna have that satisfaction, and your trust in the invisible, your faith, is going to start to falter because you're not gonna see the rewards that you're like trying to see. Like no matter how much effort you invest in an area that's not meant to be for you, you're not gonna get an output. So with the Knight of Pentacles here, you're kind of just being asked to continue to pursue a path that will reap you rewards. If this redirection hasn't happened already, it may be in your hands. Like the Knight of Pentacles, like the pentacle is in his hand. So it may be something that you necessarily, like you have to enact some level of change in your life. You have to make some kind of decision. With Libra being like cardinal air, you have to make a decision based off of your own like weighing the odds, pros and cons here. Because I do feel like with the star, like I was saying, this lady's holding the bow. She's in control of where her mental energy goes. She has all this mental energy like in the holster, and she's holding the bow, which is like she has the power to direct it and shoot it and like give it momentum, but she ultimately has to choose the direction based off of where she's being guided to put it. And I feel like if you're picking pile number 1, you're being guided to put this energy in a vessel that is of service to others in some kind of way that allows you to guide people. And I feel like maybe even like there's some level of like you being a little bit too humble about what it is that you have to say with this Justice card. Like I do feel like you actually are an authority in some way, shape, or form here, and you may not be fully giving yourself credit for how much of an authority or how much authority you have or wield in a certain arena or industry, because I feel like you have more than the average person. You're very smart. I'm getting that there's like a lot of mental energy here with Libra and Aquarius, because like Gemini is the person or like the air sign that goes out and like collects the information. I feel like Libra is the kind of like the container for the information. It's like yeah, it's like it's sorting it, organizing it, kind of categorizing the information. So you have good explainer energy here, which I feel like leads into that star energy of you being able to then push out what you've learned, like the conclusions that you've come to. After you've analyzed the information, you're then able to like give it out. And I feel like that is the valuable skill here, the processing and the delivering of the information. Because anybody can get the information. I feel like the information isn't necessarily hard to get, but I feel like the way that you contain this here, the way that you package this and then give it to other people is what is so attractive, and is your superpower here, and is what allows you to maybe even like gain financially from this. Like, this is something to continue to pursue, because I feel like it will build into something even greater in the long run. Like, if you see these trees in the background, trees take like centuries to grow. So this is something that can continue to grow for centuries. Like, you'll be established in whatever this industry is. And I picked up the deck because I was going to clarify this route, and we have the Knight of Swords here. I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, actually that's it. I'm not gonna get any more. But with this Knight of Swords, it does feel like you are talking or communicating this information to some other people. It's important for you not to like overthink this either, because it's gonna come naturally and like from inside with the Six of Cups energy. It's not something that's supposed to be like super hard. It's supposed to be like, I'm getting an easygoing kind of energy from the turtle and the snail. Like, I have to say, like, it's kind of lackadaisical. It doesn't feel like it's super rushed. If it is super planned, it doesn't seem like it from the outside. But it doesn't lack content, like substance, whatever this thing is that you're putting out there. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna go ahead and move into pile number 2, which is the hierophant and the jade crystal. So if you recall to that, feel free to join me over there. If not, that's cool too. And thank you for watching. Okay, so if you chose pile number 2, the hierophant and the jade, this is going to be your pile. And for this one, I was channeling routine, rituals, and resolve, bringing results, comfort, relaxation, divine feminine energy, spiritual leadership, and devotion to a cause, and appearance changes, like divinely guided appearance changes, specifically relating to like hair and tattoos. And if you see the card, you can probably guess why I got those messages. But yeah, this is Taurus energy. So it's Venusian. Yeah, bro, it says you are about to shine. And then we also have Bobcat and Blackthorn, patience. And the horse and Bluebell, modest fortitude. Boom. Yeah. It's something about like standing the test of time. You've been like putting effort, consistent effort towards something for a long time, and it feels like with the hierophant here, this could be in like the realm of your career, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could also be in relation to like your values. I'm getting like routines, and with this horse energy, it feels like related to like physical exertion. So you could be like going to the gym, and you're gonna start to see like results as it relates to that. Because with this Bobcat energy, patience, and the Taurus energy, it just feels like very earthly, like grounded. Like the results that you're reaping, the up leveling that you're getting is something that's gonna definitely show in the material realm. And it feels like there's also some level of like beauty or like physicality as it relates to this up leveling. Like you have I'm also getting like the energy of like revealing yourself with this like you're about to shine card, because it has like an armadillo, and underneath the shell there's like this light here. So outside of the external shell, like you may have been in hiding, like there's like a kind of like in hiding energy here, like where you've been self-protective about some kind of like some kind of like growth you're trying to bring into your life. Like you've been protective of yourself in your energy. And like if you see on this Hierophant card, it's this woman and she's in a meditative pose, and she's like kind of like floating over the ground, and it's kind of like giving me the energy of almost like a Buddhist monk kind of. So like I don't know, maybe Buddhism could be relevant to you, or you could be learning about Buddhism, or maybe you should learn about Buddhism. especially with this patience here and like modest fortitude energy. Like this is the energy of enduring, and that process of enduring or enduring over a period of time, reaping rewards finally, with this 26 making an 8 being like cycles, also talking about like abundance, and you're about to shine. So there's something about like effort that you've invested over a long period of time suddenly coming back. And I was saying, routine, rituals, and resolve bring results. Yeah. There's a modesty about you that I feel like is going to be challenged in this new era. You're going to start to be put in the position to be more of a leader with this hierophant here, because the hierophant is a spiritual leader. Hierophant is kind of like giving like priest energy, pastoral energy. So maybe you're moving into a position of spiritual leadership in whatever form that takes place, whether that's like you being a life coach, whether that's you being a literal pastor / minister, whether that's you being open, like starting up a spiritual channel or something like that. Like and whatever this is, like whatever you're starting, if you're starting something specific, your advice is to be consistent with it. If you're not starting with something, you're reaping rewards because you were consistent with something. So let me go ahead and get the tarot. So angels, ancestors, spirit guides, please connect me to the energy of pile number 2, the hierophant, and the jade crystal. And please help me to further clarify the energy of this pile's up leveling. Do if you feel like Christmas time. For some reason, like throughout the first 2 piles of this reading, Smarty by Lana Del Rey has been stuck in my head. So I feel like you guys are really smart people, like, and that could be part of this modesty too. Like you don't fully give yourself credit for just how like strategic or intelligent you are, because horses also remind me of like Sagittarius energy, and Sagittarius is like sage energy. It's also like the traveler. It's a very well-rounded energy. I feel like everything that makes you who you are is part of the reason why you're about to get some kind of leadership or attention or something like that. You are the sum of all your experiences. And with the Hierophant here, I feel like you may have incarnated with a very specific purpose to bring about change, because it's number 5. So there's something about your experiences and the way that you deliver these experiences and the example that you set in yourself being a result of these experiences that kind of like brings light. Yeah, I'm definitely getting it now. Yeah, okay, so the stars at the bottom of this deck, so if you were drawn to pile number 1, definitely go back and watch that, because I feel like that could definitely be messages over there for you. We have the Hanged Man with the 7 of Wands here, and then we also have the 3 of Swords in reverse. Then we have, oh no, the 3 of Swords upright. Then we have the King of Swords in reverse, and then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So, like I was saying, you are making a lot of slow and steady progress, and I feel like this progress, okay, so I'm getting like that thing, that phrase of like as within is without, like as above is below. So with this Hangman energy, I get the energy or the impression that you kind of voluntarily put yourself into a place of stagnation, at least like on a physical material realm, so that you could make progress internally here. You needed to like change your perspective here and possibly align yourself more with like a higher power or a spiritual calling here. And with the 7 of Wands here, it feels like a lot of this stagnation brought the energy of like conflict or the need for you to endure. This is the energy usually of someone who's like fighting specifically against other people, like it's 1v6. So it's like kind of the energy of being overwhelmed on a like material sense, and just kind of like having to call it quits and take time to like isolate yourself and go into yourself, find some kind of spiritual way forward. And the Hangman is also like the Buddha card, and I was saying Buddhism, I think that was this pile. Yeah. It's like Buddha goes underneath the Bodhi tree to find enlightenment. So I feel like you may have just had to sit your ass down for a little bit and figure out what your next move forward was at some point in your journey. Or to like reconvene with yourself or some kind of like higher power with the hierophant here. Because depending on whether or not you've always been like kind of a spiritual person, or this is like something new for you, is like kind of depending on like how that resonates for you. Because if you're a person who's like kind of always been on a spiritual path, then this is like the energy of like kind of needing to reconnect with that. And if you're a person who's recently finding it, then this is the energy of you having like a spiritual kind of awakening kind of situation, like a dark night of the soul, especially with like the King of Swords here and the Knight of Swords. Regardless of like where you are in your spiritual path, I feel like this recent past is something that puts you in like a negative mental space, either like overthinking or just like experiencing some kind of like traumatic experience that you naturally kind of had to experience some kind of low. But I think part of your spiritual like authority, it gives you the understanding that after each low kind of comes the inevitable high. I feel like you've been really independent too as well. That's Knight of Pentacles. You may have intentionally chosen to like kind of steer away from other connections. Like you may be more of an isolated kind of person here. It's important for you not to rely on the external validation here, and to make moves that are in your own best interest. It's going to continue to lead to you being independent. Not like, at least financially here, like I don't really see a lot of other people coming in here until the stars at the bottom of the deck, and then it's talking more about like you giving from your emotional place and like pouring that back out into the world. But I don't really see anybody pouring into you here. Like that's not happening. If there is anyone pouring into you, it's people who are like on the other side. Like I'm getting that song from Princess Tiana. Oh, not Princess Tiana, Princess and the Frog. Oh my god, yeah, that's a major key here. Maybe you might want to watch that movie. But it's like, I got friends on the other side. So it's like the assistance that you're receiving here, people who are pouring into you may not actually be on the physical realm. And that kind of relates back to that Hangman energy of you kind of like reconnecting with some kind of like spiritual energies here. And that kind of takes some stillness, especially with like the Hierophant. Like this is another meditative position here. So if you are not yet seeing this evolution or up leveling coming, it's possibly because you need to like kind of sit with yourself in order to figure out what your next move is. With this King of Swords here in reverse, you may not be spending enough time in your own energy because there may be things there that you're trying to avoid. Beware of becoming overly independent as well. Allow people to give to you, because with this modest fortitude, there is... Okay, so yeah, before I was rudely interrupted, I was talking about how your need for independence and to be entirely self-sufficient can be a blockage in your abundance, because you're needing to be much more vulnerable now at this time than you've ever really been before. Oh my gosh. What is up with this pile? Like, there are so many things kind of like going wrong. Like I've had to like refilm this last part at least 3 times now. And then like my phone is not falling down. Like none of this stuff was happening during pile 1. None of it. So I'm wondering if there is some kind of like external interference here that is like you're needing to like kind of endure, and I want to clarify that. Like what is the blockage energy? Why is it so hard? Yeah, we had the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the 6 of Wands. So there definitely is someone who doesn't want to see you be successful. This could be an earth sign female, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And it's interesting that I said Virgo first, because I normally wouldn't, but it could definitely especially be a Virgo. Someone who's like kind of sending negative energy towards your success here. And that could be like part of the reason why you're so protective of your light. because it could be that you sense that there are people around you that would not want to see you find success, find admiration, be publicly acknowledged for some kind of skill set that you have here, or something that you've achieved for yourself. There's definitely someone sending like evil eye towards you. So maybe it is good to be self-protective here in a sense, but not overly, because I was saying before, like in one of the parts that I tried to record but it didn't finish, like, or save, and then it just disappeared from my brain. Like, okay, so there is definitely someone sending negative energy towards you, and I'm gonna hold this now. This is an arrowhead made out of black obsidian, so this is gonna be my protection. It may be really important for you to protect yourself at this time, because I feel like there are gonna be people around you that are going to try to like they're gonna bring confrontational energies into your life. And that's that 7 of Wands energy. I was saying before that it was like 6 versus 1, right? This is that confrontational energy. Your spirituality, your spiritual evolution is going to be met with obstacles. There may be non-believers. Something of the sort. 10 of Cups here, but your fulfillment emotionally is assured, so it's not something you need to really super worry about, but definitely take precautions just to protect yourself and your vibe and your energy. Make sure that you can keep it high for yourself, because that's what's going to keep you in connection with your guides, which are then going to give you the instructions that you need in order to find this inevitable success, despite the fact that this woman in the shadows may not be the biggest fan. Okay, so boom, that's pile number 2. Okay, I can't remember whether or not it came back to me. I can't remember whether or not I already said this. Okay, now my speech is like all jumbled and everything. Like, who is this bitch and why is she doing this to me? But there was something about like the star card and she's being naked on that card, and then on this card the armadillo has armor, so they need to take off the armor so that your light can shine. So boom, there's that last piece. And now I'm gonna move into pile 3. Jesus Christ, that one was difficult for no reason. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you chose pile number 3, you chose the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Swords / Intelligence. We have Surrender to Receive, the Skunk and Magnolia, Protection, and then we have Fox and Ivy, Adaptability. And the channel messages I got when I shuffled these cards out last night, I didn't look at the oracle, but when I was channeling the energy of these tarot up here, I got developing strength on either mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually. Okay, this is starting to really frustrate me because I really don't like. Very frustrating. Look, literally, developing strength, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, playing your cards right, strategy, confidence amidst chaos, financial influx, and good luck, play the lottery. So boom, just in trying to record this reading, I've already experienced the confidence amongst the chaos, because I've had a very difficult time just trying to get this shit to work. And then the Fox and Ivy, Adaptability, came out with the Skunk and Protection, Surrender to Receive. You have the strength to be able to weather whatever storm is kind of coming up for you right now. It's important for you to let go of what you don't have control over and just make the moves that you need to make in order to get what you want out of the situation. Even if that means cutting your losses, even if that means like getting rid of things, I feel like you might have to take some kind of like loss in a material sense in order to see something through here. But that's okay. It's the way it's something's supposed to happen. In fact, like the giving up is what makes space for you to be able to receive something new. with this like wheel energy. In order to like welcome new energy in, you do have to like give up the old energy. And I feel like you may have like a tendency to hoard, is what I'm getting here. I don't know where I'm getting that from, but I'm getting like you have the tendency to hoard. So that's another reason why like surrender to receive is here. There's something that you need to give up, because that hoarding energy is the energy of like lack, and that could be part of your mentality here that you need to sacrifice here, a lack mentality. Yeah. And then number 2 is here. It kind of makes me feel like this could be in relation to like another person. Like this could be some like kind of interpersonal dynamic that you have here. Maybe you're overly attached to certain situations or people, and you're kind of needing to surrender those situations in order for you to receive what it is that you truly do want, because the Wheel of Fortune here is upright. So no matter what is going on here and how you're perceiving it, every change that's happening is in your highest good. And with the Knight of Intelligence here, I feel like your challenge could just be the ability to see that for what that is. Being able to move forward with the mindset of adapting instead of being upset that the changes are happening. You can see how this otter is like kind of crying a tear. It's okay to grieve what you feel like you've lost here, as long as you're grieving it with the mentality and mindset that, or like understanding that more and better is coming over the horizon, because that mindset is what's going to like offer you the protection here with the skunk and magnolia in order to be able to move forward. And I also was saying in like a previous recording of this, where I was trying, like the first attempt I think I made at this, I was saying that the skunk, its natural protection is its smell. Something about the aura of you naturally wards off negative energies. So if there was some kind of shift here as it relates to like another person or a conflict here, where you've had to like give up and just kind of like walk away, that wasn't your highest good. You needed to cut your losses, perhaps as related to like a stinky person. Like there could have been someone who had a dark aura, a negative aura that you could not stand to be around, and that is part of this Wheel of Fortune shift, surrender energy that's coming up here. You're being challenged with like being able to sense a loss and then adapt to the loss in a way that is to your benefit. So it's just like about alchemizing the situation to be beneficial for you. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with your mindset with this Knight of Swords right now, because an L is an L, but what you do with that L is up to you. And what you do with that L has a lot to do with your strategy. And I feel like how you're being guided right now is maybe like with the fox spirit, like your mind is being strengthened right now, because that seems to be like one of your greatest tools in alchemizing the situation, like one of your greatest assets. So let's pull tarot, because I'm kind of frustrated by channeling that right now. And also I'm just gonna go back to it a little bit. One of the things I channeled was like playing the lottery here. So like, one, you might just want to like play the lottery and test your luck out, because I feel like right now you're looking really lucky. But also it's the energy of kind of just like shooting your shot in some kind of way, especially with the surrender to receive, like giving up control in order to gain something. And then the 2 being like reminding me of like flipping a coin. Something about having good luck, good odds. Like the odds, may the odds be ever in your favor. Yeah, so it's like giving me Hunger Games vibes, where may the odds be ever in your favor. May the odds be ever in your favor. It's like you're putting your name into like, damn, what's it called when they give you those like raffle tickets, and then like you have to like buy something to get a raffle ticket, put your name into something. So it's like you're investing in something in order to possibly reap the reward. What I'm getting is that like, if that is like resonating for you, there's a really good chance that you're gonna get something good out of it, especially if like you're a person who, like for example, like you're like an influencer or something like that, and you may like think to yourself rationally in your mind that there's not a high chance of you getting some kind of like attention or receiving like the rewards that you want. I think your chances are higher than you might think, just because of like your alignment to your mission or something like that. Like, you have good odds, you have good chances. And I feel like you may not be completely giving yourself credit for how guided you are. And like, part of this process is surrender to receive. So like, you have to be able to swallow the fact that you don't necessarily have the best odds rationally and still do it anyway in order for you to get to what you want, or like get what you want in the situation. But you have to be okay with the fact that you may not get what you want in order for you to get what you want. And that's like kind of the mind fuck of it all. It has to come without expectation, like without attachment to the outcome, basically. You need to be doing it because you want to do it, because you see the value in doing it, not because you want to get something out of it. And that's when you will get something out of it. Okay, boom. So we have the Hermit, the Three of Pentacles. Alright, never give up, because I tried to film this so many times. The Hermit, Three of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Wands, Seven of Cups, Two of Cups. Something is happening independently from you, and it may be the crumble of a pre-organized structure. Some kind of dynamic, maybe even between people who work together or live together, some kind of operation or function or organization is falling apart, either because of the influence of your energy. You're coming out with this Hermit card as having a light to shine on a situation. You're bringing some level of clarity here without you needing to like kind of exert a lot of energy. It seems like the light is coming from you, and the light is shining on some element of like disaster or dysfunction, or the fact that something or someone is not a good place to continue to invest effort, or they don't have the materials with which to create in some kind of way. With the Knight of Wands, I feel like there could be some kind of quick occurrences here. Something may shift suddenly. Someone may do something impulsively, and that kind of leads to disillusionment within a relationship with the Seven of Cups here, or the Two of Cups. But there's also a fantasy of another relationship. I'm kind of getting the impression that there could be two different relationships. Like, there's kind of a lot going on here in this pile, but there's one person who may have a choice to make within two people. One of these people is clearly the better option than the other. And I say clearly because this person is light, shining that light. So that could be you, that could be someone you're involved with. Take what resonates here, but there's definitely someone who's been introduced to a dynamic that shows how the dynamic could be improved or better functional. And there's a choice to be made here emotionally about what direction to head in. I'm not sure that this actually involves you, or if this is something that's just kind of like happening around you because of the center card being surrender to receive. I feel like this is going to work out in a way that is favorable to you, but it doesn't actually require you to exert any effort. In fact, if you did exert effort, it might taint the situation. So remain as uninvolved as possible if you are one of the two people being chosen between. If you are the person making the choice, you're protected in your choice. Follow your passion with the Knight of Wands here. And keep in mind your goals with the Three of Pentacles. It's like there's something that you want to create or achieve, or some kind of vision with the Seven of Cups here of an ideal love match. Use that to help you make the decision that leads you to your manifestations. Remember the fantasy that you had, remember the vision that you had for the future, and then adapt with this Fox energy. Like, learn how to make decisions, quick decisions in the moment that reflect where your mental space is at. Rely on your impulse and intuition to help you to figure out how to navigate the situation. And I feel like it could relate in some way here with your speech, with the Hermit card being here and that being ruled by Mercury. This could be written speech. There could be something happening over text. With the Hermit, this may even be like the withdrawal of speech, like surrender. Like, this is kind of like the energy of giving up. You may be giving up on one option in order to pursue another one, or there could just be a shift here in the terms of like energy investment or time investment or resource investment towards something that will prove to be more profitable in the long run, or something that has like With the Three of Pentacles here, it's like a craft, something that speaks more to you, like 3, mind, body, soul. So it's something that's like you're choosing ultimately something that is going to be more in alignment with you with this Two of Cups. Like, you have a lot of options. I feel it's not just like 2 things. I just feel like there are 2 top choices basically. With the Seven of Cups, don't allow yourself to be confused, because I feel like you already know which option. I feel like you already know where you want to invest. So don't let yourself be confused even by like the solidity or like a long-term investment in a different arena. It's never too late to start new, basically. And you don't have a lot to fear with this protection energy in starting new. And with the Wheel of Fortune here, I just feel like it's time to start new in some kind of way. Like I said before, the Knight of Wands, allow your passions to guide you forward. And yeah, I think I've already, like, my energy has been drained by the fact that I've had to like try so many times to film this. So I'm sorry, but I feel like that kind of speaks to the energy of this pile, because like in the very beginning when I was channeling, I was talking about like confidence amidst chaos and like developing strength mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So I feel like there's been lots of ups and downs in this journey, like whatever the situation is that you're finding yourself in. I feel like it's been trying for your patience, and it's pushing you to grow, and you can tell that by how difficult it feels for you right now. If there is like a vision or a fantasy of what you want to achieve in terms of like love specifically here, because the Two of Cups is coming out here, I can't help but get like a romantic vibe off of that. Like if you're trying to manifest like an ideal, the ideal is possible. Like don't give up on your ideal. Do give up on anything that doesn't match or isn't in alignment with the ideal, because it only poses a obstacle if you're trying to hold on too tight. The like energy that's coming out really prevalently here is adaptability, and that's confirmed further by the first card of the tarot being the Hermit, which is a mutable earth sign. So you need to learn how to be flexible. And this Wheel of Fortune energy is fixed, so you may be a fixed sign, or you just kind of have a fixed energy. It's hard for you to kind of like course correct, but that's what the situation is really asking you to do. I'm hearing the phrase abandon ship, so yeah. What else? I feel like there's more. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse. It's a situation like that's not going to grow. You're not gonna find. What you're gonna find is frustration down that path with the Knight of Swords again. So yeah, frustration and anxiety. So what's better is to just kind of like leave it alone, because you already know that the frustration and anxiety is on the horizon. So instead of like continuing to walk towards it, you can just avoid that obstacle. And I feel like you know how to avoid that obstacle if you really want to. It's just about, with the Knight of Wands here, having the confidence and conviction in your own decision making in order to avoid this obstacle. Don't be afraid to wave the white flag. If there's something like where you're afraid of how others will perceive you, you're needing to surrender that as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Especially if like this is something to do with like a relationship. There's like, what is Knight of Wands, there's like a possible like playboy energy. At least like that's how you could be perceived in some kind of way here. I feel like you're trying to avoid negative perceptions, but you can't entirely. It's important to like understand that, because you do need to live your life for yourself. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it there. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helped. Bye.